Hey guys, this is Jean-Claude, and you know what? I have fidgeted with that last video that for some reason the last like 3 minutes was cut off, and I've messed with it now for 2 days, and I cannot figure out what's going on. I don't know if it has something to do with my software that I'm using to edit with, or what's exactly happening, but I've tried uploading it several times, and for some reason it goes to the 8-minute mark and whatever it was at. And the very last time I tried it, for some reason it only went to like 3 minutes, so I can't figure out what's happening with it, and we're unfortunately just going to have to just give up on that one. The rating for the deck was about a B to B+, and I said I was going to end up testing it to see if it was any better, or, you know, because I thought the deck had a little bit of potential. Alright, so now, let's get to today's deck. Yeah, so really sorry about that. I did try my best to upload that and get it out to you guys, but it just was not cooperating. So I have no idea. I wish I could figure out what was going on, but I have like 160 videos. It was bound to happen that something weird would go on. But yeah, we're going to have something screwy happen, right? Oh, I accidentally showed it, so let's just get it out of the way. Untamed, Mars, and Logos, the Inventive Scaremonger. It's a cool little Archon. First time I've seen all these little frilly things here. And then, what is that? Is that like its itty bitty head? No way. That is way too small for how big its body is. That is not in proportion. They really messed that one up. What the heck? Am I missing something? That has to be the head, right? A little goofy. Let's hope it's a good deck, though. Alright. Drop that down, and we are starting off with Roxador, 4-power, skirmish. He only deals 2 damage when fighting. Fight, stun the attacked creature. That's interesting. First time I've seen this card. I definitely don't think it's insane. I mean, just fighting to stun a creature isn't that great, especially it's only doing 2 damage. It's not taking any damage back with skirmish, but I would have much rather seen like a reap effect or something else for a creature that can only do 2 damage and has 4 health. That's a little weird. It's a shame that's a rare. Ooh, Punctuated Equilibrium. It's an action. Play. Each player discards their hand, then refills their hand as if it were the end of their turn. It's a really good card. Especially as we start to see more like Battle Fleet, Key Abduction decks that are trying to hold on certain cards. We're able to cycle those cards right out of their hand. That's pretty good. Way of the Porcupine. Upgrade. Every time you play it, this creature gains Hazardous 3. That's a great card. Nepenthe. It's an artifact. Omni. Sacrifice it. Return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Wow. That's actually really good against all those combo decks. Being able to return the Punctuated Equilibrium. Wow. Okay, that's really cool. I hope this deck ends up having a lot of other good combos. Flaxia, 4-power, play. Gain 2 Aember if you control more creatures than your opponent. 2 Flaxias? This is starting off a little insane. Song of Spring, Aember whenever you play it. Shuffle any number of friendly untamed creatures from your hand, discard pile, or battle line back into your deck. That's pretty good for getting back those Flaxias. And 2 of those. Regrowth, Aember whenever you play it. Return a creature from your discard pile to your hand. Knock, sees 3 power, gets +3 power for each neighbor it has. Grove Keeper, 3 power at the end of your turn. Give each neighboring creature a +1 power counter. Full Moon, for the remainder of the turn, gain 1 Aember each time you play a creature. And now we're on to Mars. It's Martian Hounds. Play, choose a creature. For each damaged creature, give the chosen creature 2 +1 power counters. Custom Virus, interesting. It's an artifact, Aember whenever you play it, sacrifice it, purge a creature from your hand, destroy each creature that shares a trait with the purged creature. That's a pretty good card, especially if we get a lot of neat traits. I think all we really had was, so we got Fairy, that's only going to hit more Untamed cards. We have Beast, okay, here we go, Human Witch. Grove Keeper is going to be pretty good for taking out Sanctum. I like that. Whoa, and a Brainstem Antenna. What is this deck? Okay. Let's hope we get some great reap effects or some really overpowered creature to use with this. This creature gains after you play a Mars creature, ready this creature, and for the remainder of the turn, it belongs to House Mars. This can set up some really bonkers things. I look forward to seeing what we can do with this. Sample Collection, play. Put an enemy creature into your archives for each key your opponent has forged. If any of those creatures leave your archives, they're put into its owner's hand instead. Key Abduction. Aember whenever you play it. Return each Mars creature to its owner's hand. Then you may forge a key at +9 current cost, reduced by 1 for each card in your hand. Exterminate, exterminate. For each friendly Mars creature you control, destroy a non-Mars creature with lower power. Alright. We found our first stinker. Xanthix Harvester, 3 power, cannot be used while it has a non-Mars neighbor. Reap, gain an Aember. Sky Booster Squadron, 4 power, reap, return it to your hand. Mother Gun, it's an artifact. Action, reveal any number of Mars cards from your hand. Deal damage to a creature equal to the number of Mars cards revealed this way. Mind Worm, oh, another bad one. 1 power elusive. Before fight, the creature Mind Worm fights deals damage equal to its power to each of its neighbors. Mind Warper, 2 power elusive. Action, choose an enemy creature, it captures 1 from its own side. Ixley, Fixed Finger, 2 power, 2 armor. Elusive, each other Martian creature gets +1 armor. Oh, it's a Time Traveler too? Oh my lord, okay. This has a lot of like different ways to draw cards. The Punctuated Equilibrium, the Time Traveler now. This is really crazy to me. Okay. So Time Traveler, if you haven't seen it yet, Aember, whenever you play it, 2 power, play, draw 2 cards, action, shuffle Time Traveler into your deck. That is so good. Replicator, 2 power, reap. Trigger the reap effect of another creature in play, as if you control that creature. There's Help from Future Self, comes in every Time Traveler deck. Aember, whenever you play it, search your deck and discard pile for Time Traveler, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your discard pile into your deck. Remote Access, Aember, whenever you play it, use an opponent's artifact as if it was yours. Oh, I just realized we don't have a good artifact control in here. Eureka, wow, Aember, whenever you play it, Alpha. So it's the first thing you have to do on your turn. Play, gain 2 Aember, archive 2 random cards from your hand. ZYX Researcher, 2 power, play, archive the top card of your deck or the top card of your discard pile. Titan Mechanic, 6 power, while it's on the flank, each key costs -1 Aember. Titan Librarian, 4 power, at the end of your turn, if Titan Librarian is not on the flank, archive a card. There is a lot of just quality cycling in this deck. This is really crazy. And a Professor Sutterkin? Oh my gosh, what is this thing? 2 power, reap, draw a card for each friendly Logos creature. We need to see a lot of Logos creatures now. It's another Professor Sutterkin. Oh my lord. Oh my gosh. And we have Brainstem Antenna in here. That might be the best target for this card. This is nuts. I cannot believe this deck. Cutthroat Research, Aember, whenever you play it. Play, steal 2 Aember if your opponent has 8 or more Aember. 1 more card left in the deck. It's another Cutthroat Research. Okay, whoa, okay. There is something here, guys. Let's count up the Aember. And we had a decent amount of Logos creatures too, so that's really good. Huh. Mars was our only house light on Aember, but it provides some combo piece, so that's kind of nice. Let's see, that's getting some Aember. Song of Springs might lead to more with Flaxias. This is, in a weird way, almost more Aember cards because you're cycling. I'm pretty sure this is going to generate at least an additional Aember. It's going to sound weird, but that's how I'm going to calculate it. Because being able to get to more Untamed cards, which about half of them, or more than half, are providing Aember, I like our odds. So in a weird way, I'm going to count this as 1 Aember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. 20 Aember is really solid, and even if you don't want to count this, it's still 19. That's really good. Okay, now, I have to see what cards we can put with the Brainstem Antenna. Is it only the Professor Sutterkins? So obviously we knew those. Was there any other thing that gave us... It could be interesting on the Replicator. Really just depends on what the other creatures are. Maybe their opponents have. Because the only real reap effects we had was, oh, well, okay, Mind Warper's not too bad, but the other reap effects are Professor Sutterkins. So we've just put it on our own to begin with. You're not going to put it on Sky Booster or anything like that. Okay, yeah, so really our main targets will end up being the Mind Warper, possibly Replicator, and definitely Professor Sutterkin for that Brainstem Antenna. That's pretty nice. Let's look at the total creatures. We had 20 Aember, which is solid. We're not going to really see any Aember control. That's its one downfall. Help from Future Self is pretty much another creature, because it's able to get one. That's what matters. Well, I do want to talk about that ZYX Researcher here in a second. Man, I wish this would have been... I don't really know all the rares in Untamed, but I feel like I wish it would have been anything else other than this guy. He is not that good. 5. 10. Oh, no! Oh, okay. Okay. For a second, I'm like, no way! 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Is that it? Okay, make sure I didn't miss any other somehow or mess it up. Yeah, okay. 16 creatures. Not too bad. Brainstem Antenna, let's see, how many Mars creatures did we have to potentially get at least a couple? You want to get at least maybe 2, maybe 3 uses whenever you drop them down. Okay, yeah. So 5 creatures, that's about average. That's not too bad whatsoever. I like that. Something else I wanted to talk about. So that Brainstem Antenna, this Punctuated Equilibrium. I want to pull up maybe even Help from Future Self. Yeah. Just want to get some of these bigger cards. I want to show you something here. Something I find very, very cool about this deck. Let's see. Not really the Key Abduction. I don't think we're going to be forging free keys off that. Even the Eureka, I think that will count for what I want to show. Said Brainstem. Okay, so now, what I want to point out is ZYX Researcher and the Penseed. These cards are able to get back some of our best cards in the entire deck. ZYX Researcher, you plot it out. Even if you get a Eureka back for the next turn, that is insane. So, first play Eureka, followed up with ZYX Researcher, archive immediately. You got 3 Amber that turn. Next turn, you're getting an additional 3 Amber. That's really good. The Penseed for that again, just to be able to get 3 Amber is really strong. You want to decide in advance what the best cards in your deck are, and I'm pretty sure it's Eureka, Brainstem Antenna, Help from Future Self, Punctuated Equilibrium. Those are the 4 cards we're going to try and get back. And I'm telling you, this is going to do some work. Being able to use this potentially 3 times throughout a cycle is insane to me. I mean, you're less likely to hit the ZYX Researcher, but then Penseed it, and then constantly disrupt our opponent's hands, especially if there's some sort of combo deck. Maybe they hold on to Untamed because they have Dust Pixies and Nature's Calls and Key Charge. They want to set up some sort of crazy combo. You're going to mess them up. As I said earlier, are they a Martian Generosity or Battle Fleet Key Abduction deck? You're going to mess them up. There's a lot of decks that this thing can mess up. Your opponent is going to be holding on to certain cards, trying to get the max value out of them, and you're going to just give them a whole new random 6 cards. It's just so good. Yeah, man, this deck, too bad. Too bad we see the Mindworm and the Harvester. The only value they have is literally with the Brainstem Antenna. That is it. Otherwise, I'm just not a big fan of these cards. Yeah, man, I don't know. This deck is really cool, though. It definitely has a lot of great things. And those Sutterkins, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. How many Logos creatures again? I mean, that helps us get a Logos creature. Got there. Replicator, Sutterkin. And then the last one. Oh gosh, look at these. Oh my lord, look at all those Logos creatures. God, that with the Brainstem Antenna, we could just draw our whole deck. Maybe we can do a Key Abduction. This is nuts. And I love the Titan Librarian too. This deck is going to cycle so fast. It is going to be moving very, very quick. Its downside is obviously Amber Control. I believe there was only one. It's just a single Mind Warper that can help us control our opponent's Amber. That is super weak. But otherwise, this deck is very interesting to me. Could you imagine if there would have been just like 2 more Amber Control cards? I mean, you can say Cutthroat Research, yeah, maybe that can do Amber Control, but no, you can't bank on that. That's not something, this is not a true Amber Control card, unless your deck has a lot of things that are going to make your opponent's keys cost a lot of Amber. But as I said, oh man, this deck is really good. Oh, I can't wait to try this. I want to give it a high rating, but I don't think I can give it an insane rating. Oh, it's so tough. I am going to give it a B+ rating. I think it's going to do really well at like chain-bound events, and that's kind of where that falls. Is, you know, not the highest tier, but once you get to like B+, that's something that should very reliably win chain-bound events for you. It's a very solid deck. It's just not the very next tier. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you next time.